Hello, and welcome back to our podcast. I must start by apologizing. May, I was caught up with a lot of travel, and I couldn't really give this podcast the patience, the grace that it needed. And I felt that I just needed to sit back and allow the right time to occur. So we are at the very beginning of June, and my oh my, I want to welcome you back to the podcast. So my name is Dr. Alison Chiwara. I am the founder and CEO at Human Focus Limited and do many other things. But as we step into June, I find myself reflecting on the month we've just left behind. May, for me, was a month of grace, and I hope it was for you too. It wasn't really that kind of grace that arrives with all of the noise and etc. Not the kind that tends to shout on social media or dominate headlines. It was really a quieter variety for me. The hidden victories, the answered prayers nobody saw, the meetings that actually shifted futures, I felt, the conversations that planted seeds, and the lessons that arrived disguised as ordinary moments. And if I'm honest, I finished May feeling profoundly grateful, really grateful. Throughout the month, I found myself sitting in rooms with extraordinary people, visionaries, strategists, entrepreneurs, leaders, policymakers, individuals whose wisdom stretched far beyond their own professions. Have you ever sat in a room where every single mind was sharp? Where every idea kind of had merit. I mean, you could debunk it. Where every opportunity seemed really viable. Where every person brought something valuable to the table. And where everything really felt almost perfect. And then, despite all the brilliance, there'll be those moments still where one ingredient is missing. Alignment. Because you see, wisdom without alignment creates a lot of confusion. Resources without alignment create waste. And talent without alignment creates frustration, and a lot of frustration, may I add. And opportunity without alignment often creates regret. It was in one of those moments that I personally realized, or rather a realization perhaps that has stayed with me since, when you get into those rooms. And the topic for today's conversation is losing yourself while trying to be chosen. I believe many of us have experienced this at some point in our lives, right? Perhaps it was a job opportunity, a business deal, a relationship, a partnership, or even a promotion, or even a seat at the table we so wanted or so desperately wanted. We become so focused on being selected that we gradually begin to negotiate our pieces of ourselves. You start to compromise here. A little silence there when you should speak. A little bending of ourselves when really it's not needed. A little adjustment here and there of our own principles. Until one day you wake up and you realize, hey, wait a moment. You were chosen, but the version of yourself that is gotten chosen no longer feels authentic. You no longer feel that what you bring or what you brought to the table is enough. You start to adjust yourself. You start to compromise who you are. Philosophers have wrestled with this question for centuries. Who are you? Who truly are you? Who are you when there's something to gain? Who are you when there's something to lose? That is my question to you today. Who really are you? You see, the Greek philosopher Socrates famously suggests that the unexamined life is not worth living. We have to bring ourselves to the judgment table often than not. Who am I when I am not being watched by ABC? Who am I when I am not in my comfort zone? Who am I when I'm truly in my comfort zone? These are questions that I ask of you to ask of yourself often than not. Many people spend their entire lives chasing acceptance without ever examining what acceptance is costing them. Are you with me? This could be even in a relationship. This could even be in a social setup. This also could be in the boardroom. When you're negotiating your dreams in exchange for others' money. When you're exchanging your vision, your ambition for other people to approve. These may be investors. These may be technical partners. I don't know. But religion also teaches a very similar lesson here. Whether you study Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, or whatever it may be, Judaism, or traditional African spiritual wisdom, a common thread always emerges. Stay with me. Character matters. Integrity matters. Your truth, the truth matters. You see, the reward is never supposed to be greater than the person that is pursuing it. I hope I'm speaking to somebody today. Because if the reward requires you to abandon your soul, requires you to sell yourself, the reward was never worth receiving. I hope I'm speaking to somebody today. One of the greatest dangers in business today is confusing success with significance. We live in a world that is so obsessed with valuations, revenues, followers, visibility, and status. A lot of people that know me in the beginning of this year, I decided, in fact, I was influenced by my partner to kind of adopt a quiet existence. That does not mean losing myself, but that just means remolding myself so that the work that I'm doing gets more of my attention. And the noise that I'm making, or the noise outside in the world, gets less of my time. Hence, my less of me in social media and more of me in the impact and the work that I want to produce. You see, trust remains the most valuable currency in any economy. I've said this many times. I sound like a parrot about it. People buy from people. People do business with people. People don't really do business with you because your product is fantastic. You're not the only one selling it. So they will go to the person most aligned to them. May I repeat, people buy from people. People invest in people. People partner with people. And people follow real people. Not because of their products alone, like I said, but because of their because of their presentations or whatever we might want to frame it as, but because of who they are, who you are. People remember how you made them feel long after contracts have been signed. They remember whether your words and actions matched who you said you were. Integrity is not simply a moral principle. Integrity is strategy, even in business, even in relationships, even when we're networking. And perhaps it is one of the most overlooked competitive advantages in whatever world we operate in. You see, this month also brought an unexpected moment of reflection for me personally. I was hugely humbled, regardless of all my social media absence to an extent compared to my previous. I received recognition as a community champion of the year at the Zimbabwe Achievers Awards. ZAA, I want to thank you. Conrad, I want to thank you. Receiving the award isn't always an honor, but what moved me most was not the trophy. it was the reminder that some of the most meaningful work that I will ever do perhaps has to happen quietly. Many of the projects I've been involved with most recently, across Africa mostly, have happened behind closed doors, not because secrecy is important, but because I thought I needed that. I am learning that not every seed needs an audience. Not every conversation requires publicity. Not every idea benefits from immediate exposure. Some things grow stronger underground, like roots, before they can actually surface. And nature teaches us this. Seeds do not announce themselves before they develop roots. The bamboo spends years, too many years really. It's not for the impatient farmer, is it? It spends so many years building foundation underground before it shoots up. And yet the shoot is really incredible, amazing to those that see it happen. It's almost a moment of euphoria. The river quietly carves through rocks without ever needing recognition. It just does it quietly, swiftly. There is tremendous power in building in silence. And I'm not saying in isolation. I say it in silence, not secrecy, but with some sort of intentionality, building with purpose, building with a lot of patience required, a lot that no, this is not my usual style, but building with patience is what I'm learning. Building with the right people is what I want, and I hope that you want for yourself too, because collaboration is essential, even if you're building in silence. What I've learned is that in order to achieve great, you cannot do it alone. Every success story contains mentors. Nyasha, I'm so grateful for the weeks of mentorship that you've given me. I can't even begin to thank you. What seemed like an unusual encounter has become probably one of the most important, meetings I will ever have in the years to come. You require partners, friends, believers, sponsors, encouragers, teachers, and people that actually want to stay with you while you're building quietly. Because maybe they are so wanting to talk about it, and yet they understand your need for quietness. The challenge here is whether we collaborate without losing ourselves. And that brings me to another lesson May taught me. As I continue to grow as a strategist, I've realized the importance of developing a signature. Not a logo like Ibrahim told me the other day, not a slogan, not a personal brand, but a signature. What does this mean? It's a distinctive way of thinking, a recognizable set of values, a framework through which perhaps other people know what you stand for. They see that, they say, this has Alison's breath in it. This has Kobe's signature on it. This has Ibrahim's strategic thinking. This has Lauren's way of strategizing. This has Alicia's legal mind on it. This has Brian's signature on it. So you see, whether you're in whatever profession, your signature matters. I remember telling a story to somebody when I was in primary one. I don't remember all of my teachers, but this teacher in primary one stood out for me. She was called Mrs. Bandera. I'll never forget her for as long as I live. I speak of her, and I don't know if she even still lives, but I trust that she does, and that one day I'll reunite with her. She taught me, even in primary one, that it didn't matter what anybody else thought of me. It didn't matter what pace others were writing at. I just needed to write and finish what I started. It didn't matter if my thought processing or my opinions differed to everybody else. What mattered is what I thought made sense to me, and that it was valid in the context of the signature or of the conversation even. You see, people eventually stop remembering what you actually said. They actually stop remembering what you even presented at whatever event or workshop you had, but they will remember your signature in your consistency of how you deliver, perhaps your reputation, your values that move with your work, your contribution to the world if you're lucky. The most respected leaders in history, somebody always told me, were not remembered because they chased opportunities, but they were remembered because they knew what they stood for, and that is signature. And perhaps that is a lesson I want to leave with you today. As June begins, do not become so desperate to be chosen that you abandon who you are. I hope I'm speaking to somebody today. You see, I don't want you to trade your character for convenience. Do not trade your integrity for the influence that somebody else is promising you that you're yet to touch, feel, and see. Are you with me? Do not trade purpose for popularity. Over the last quarter of this month, I've realized how much moving with purpose means to me. Creating things that impact means to me. The world may reward shortcuts, but I want to do it the hard and meaningful way. And that has been something for me that has been a chosen start to my year. I want to move in the way I feel comfortable, in the way that holds my purpose to truth. And I wanted to do things that allowed me to still be me and never lose my integrity. Of course, I still want to be chosen for projects, for many other things, but I don't want to abandon who I am. You see, they say history rewards substance. Stay teachable. I've learned so much in this last half of the year. Stay authentic to you. Stay aligned to that which you set out to do. And stay grateful. And remember, opportunities meant for you will never require you to become someone else in order to receive them. May was a month of grace. June is a month of intention. May we all have the courage to build lives, businesses, and legacies that remain so true to who we are, even when nobody's watching. Until next time, please keep growing, keep serving, and keep becoming you, like I always say. God bless.